morning. Today we are going to be reading Lesson 5 for Listening and Learning, and it's titled The Digestive System. When I read today, there are 5 vocab words we're on the hunt for. The first one is absorb. Absorb means to take in or soak up a substance. The ground will absorb most of the water when it rains. The second word is esophagus. Your esophagus is a muscular tube that connects the throat to the stomach. Gordon swallowed a piece of cheese and imagined it passing down his esophagus into his stomach. The third word is filtering, passing through a device to remove unwanted material. The water plant is filtering or removing unsafe elements from our drinking water all day and all night. The fourth word is saliva. Saliva is a watery liquid in the mouth that helps to soften the food you're eating to make it easier to swallow. My mouth filled with saliva while the dentist worked on my teeth. And the last word is villi. Your villi are small finger-like threads inside the small intestine through which nutrients from food are absorbed into the body. The villi inside the small intestine are essential or necessary for absorbing nutrients from food and providing the body with nutrients. When you hear any of those 5 words, absorb, esophagus, filtering, saliva, or villi, you can tap your head to let me know that you're catching our vocab words. Boys and girls, when I look at you, I can't tell whether you are hungry or whether you have just had a meal. But one thing I do know is that everyone in this room has a digestive system, and that all of your digestive systems are working right now. There is a lot going on inside those bodies of yours. You each eat several hundred pounds of food in 1 year. It takes roughly 20 hours for food to travel through your gut or your digestive tract, a long, complicated series of tunnels with openings at both ends. Where does this journey begin? Yes, the process of digestion begins when you put a piece of food into your mouth. So step 1, your mouth. When you were born, most of your teeth were hiding underneath your gums. That's why babies start out eating liquid diets. So babies, the only thing that they can eat when they're first born is liquid, such as milk or formula. But once your first set of teeth came in, you were able to begin eating solid foods. You are at an age right now where you probably are losing some of those teeth and getting a new set. If so, maybe you are finding it hard to chew certain foods. Your teeth can help you break down food into millions of tiny pieces. The longer you chew, the smaller those pieces come, and it gets easier to digest. Human teeth come in different sizes and shapes, designed to eat both plants and animals. Let's take a look at the different types of teeth you have in your mouth. The flat, wedge-shaped teeth at the front of your mouth are called incisors. Incisors are the thick ones. They're thicker at one end and smaller at the other, similar to a piece of pie. They have a point to them. The incisors, both top and bottom, work together like a pair of scissors to bite, slice, and cut up your food. Next to the incisors are sharp fang-like teeth called canines or dog's teeth. These teeth tear and rip food apart the way that dogs do a piece of meat. Behind the canines, bicipids help to crush the food. In the back of the mouth, wide teeth with bumpy tops are known as molars, and they help to grind the food into mush. With your tongue, touch the teeth in your mouth. Do you notice the different shapes your teeth have? Next time you bite into a piece of chicken, sample a piece of cheese or chomp into an apple. See if you can tell which teeth help you the most. Have you ever heard someone call food mouth-watering? What do you think that means? When you smell your favorite food, perhaps spaghetti and meatballs, your mouth probably starts to water as you think about how good it will taste. That watery substance you feel is called saliva. Saliva comes from small salivatory glands or organs in your cheek, and under your tongue. It helps keep your mouth damp and soften foods as you chew, beginning to break down food easier for digestion. Saliva serves another important job as well, helping to wash away and kill bacteria. Another word for bacteria is germs. Do you know that every day you produce as many as 6 cups of saliva in your mouth? Can you feel it? Can you taste it? What else do you have in your mouth besides teeth and saliva? What's the name of the fleshy muscle in your mouth that is covered in taste buds? Taste buds are clusters of nerve endings. Your tongue, of course. Not only does your tongue help you taste your food, but it also helps you push the food around your mouth, rolling it into a mashed up, wet lump of food. Your tongue pushes the lump of food to the back of your mouth and helps you swallow. Once food is swallowed, it passes into a food canal called the esophagus. This stretchy tube is only about 10 inches long, almost the size of a ruler, leading from the back of your throat through your chest and your neck to your stomach. Food passes through the esophagus quickly. Muscles squeeze together and push the food into the stomach in about 10 seconds or less. It's a lot like squeezing toothpaste from its tube. Put your hand on the left side of your upper abdomen, just below your chest, above your waist. That's where your stomach lives, behind your lower ribs. This human mixing machine is shaped a bit like the letter J. Your stomach acts like a balloon, expanding to hold the food it receives. The stomach's gastric juices help to break the food down into a paste-like substance. These digestive juices also kill any germs that may have been swallowed. Round and round, food churns for 3 or 4 hours as muscles squeeze inside the stomach walls. Once it is the substance of a thick soup, the journey continues into the intestines. So far we have that food enters the mouth, that is step 1, and we do all that we can, our teeth do all that we can to chew and munch up the food. Then we swallow it and it goes into our esophagus. From our esophagus, it reaches our stomach, and our stomach acids or juices break it down even further. And whatever's left at that point then travels into the intestines. There are 2 types of intestines, the small intestine and the large intestine. The intestines are tubes located in the lower abdomen through which food and food waste travel. Even though there are 2 different kinds of intestines, the small and the large intestine, they are actually part of the same long single tube. A muscular gate or sphincter at the bottom of the stomach opens to allow food to flow from the stomach and into the small intestine. The small intestine is about 21 feet long, or about as long as 5 7-year-olds laying head to toe. So if you took 5 friends and laid them connecting to one another, that's about how long the small intestine is stretched out. Even though it's longer than the large intestine, it's called the small intestine because it's much thinner than the large intestine. This narrow, skinny tube, the small intestine, is coiled up like a snake below your belly button. Muscles squeeze together and push the mashed up soupy liquid along the curly small intestine. The food is mixed once more with digestive juices from the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder and other organs that are a part of your digestive system. The juices, called enzymes, break the food down and make it more and more watery along the way. The small intestine, with its million of villi, or small finger-like threads, is where some of the most important work of the digestive system takes place. The villi reach out and absorb or soak unusable nutrients and water, passing them through the bloodstream into all of the cells of your body. Did you ever hear the rumbling sound that comes from inside of you? Chances are they are coming from your small intestine as muscles contract or squeeze together to break down food. They are the sounds of a healthy gut. Most of the nutrients that are absorbed by the small intestine's many villi travel to the reddish-purple liver, one of your body's most cleansing organs. Your lower ribs on the right side of your body protect your liver. Its function is to clean the blood, filtering it or straining out any leftover waste. It turns this waste into bile, one of the juices used by the small intestine to help digest your food. The clean blood, with lots of nutrients, is carried to the muscles to help make them stronger, to the bones to help make them harder, and to every other part of your body to give them energy to help you grow. Since blood goes to every part of your body, the liver performs a very important function of making sure the blood circulating in your body is clean. This finger-shaped organ is called your appendix. As far as anyone knows, it doesn't seem to be useful to the digestive system. From time to time, the appendix can become infected or sick and cause a disease called appendicitis. When people get appendicitis, they get a very sharp pain in their lower abdomen and the areas surrounding the small intestine. The pain comes from the appendix, located in the lower right side of the abdomen near your hip bone. When it causes too much pain, doctors remove it. For many years, the appendix is considered a completely useless organ. Only recently have some doctors begun to think that the appendix might serve to fight infections or kill germs. The appendix is located right where the small intestine widens out into the large intestine. The large intestine is where the solid waste ends up. When something is solid, it's not a liquid or a gas. Even though the large intestine is much, much shorter than the small intestine, it's called the large intestine because it's much wider. Parts of food not digested in the small intestine are squeezed out into the large intestine, where they remain for up to 2 days. Water is absorbed from the waste into the walls of the large intestine and passed into the bloodstream. The waste becomes thicker and thicker, piling up into a solid mass known as feces. Feces are stored in the rectum, the final section of the large intestine, until another muscular gate or sphincter opens and allows the feces to pass through the anus, the body's exit point for solid waste. That is the end of your food's journey, from mouth to esophagus, to stomach, to small intestine, to large intestine, to your anus. The digestive system organs are working all the time, day and night, to process food into substances your body can use, providing you with the nutrients and the energy you need. Thanks for listening, guys. I will see you next time.